CentreCourt in London. I'm John Byrne with Poets and Quants, and we're here to play another episode of Guess That School. Now, the school we're going to talk about right here is a really fascinating school. I will give you a clue. It's in Europe. I'll give you 3 facts about the school. Let's see if you can guess what it is. So number 1, according to Forbes ranking, the MBA salaries 5 years after graduation of the alums of this school is the highest of any school there is, period. That's number 1. Number 2, and this is my favorite fact about the school, which is this. Every student gets 20 hours of one-on-one psychoanalysis. And we're going to get to that a little bit more because I want to find out a little bit more about what that is about. Fact number 3, and this is really cool, and I'm going to look at my cheat sheet here. 31 out of the top 100 startups in the country in which this school is located is supported by an MBA from the school, and in fact, 6 out of the top 10 startups have an MBA from this school. Can you guess the school? We're going to give you 5-10 seconds to try to figure it out. Let us know in the comment section beneath the video, and let's see if you can guess right. Okay, so I want to introduce you to a person who's going to identify the school, and then I will identify her. Come on in. Okay, this is Paolo Aischer, and she's MBA recruitment manager for what school?
For IMD Business School in Switzerland.
Indeed, in Switzerland. So tell me a little bit about the 20 hours of time with a psychoanalyst. Like, what are you doing to these poor people?
I think this is indeed. I think we're the only school doing this.
This is totally unique. Anywhere in the world.
I think in the US they would sue us if we would put our MBAs under psychoanalysts. No, so these analysts are basically also coaches for corporations, so they can do both career and life objective analysis. And they're a super support for the first 20 weeks of the program, where you basically meet them once a week.
And have you had the benefit of psychoanalysis?
No, unfortunately not. And what we also do is we have a choice of about 15 analysts from different countries and different backgrounds, because if you want to go very personal, very private, you also need to have a personal connection with your analyst.
Wow, that is truly unique. Now tell me more about the IMD program. Number 1, it's a 1-year MBA program. What are you looking for in a candidate?
So I think because of the 1-year program and the format means we need people to be very quick. So to think sharply and have, I would say, an extensive experience that they can leverage for class discussions. So the class only has 90 MBAs. So we want each of them to be contributing genuinely and bringing something new to their classmates. I think that's important.
So what do you think makes the MBA experience at IMD special?
I would say the first thing is the intensity. If you look around on the net, you'll see that it's one of they used to call it boot camp. I think we can't call it boot camp anymore, but it's one of the most intensive programs, at least for the first part of the year. So that means you need to be willing and you need to really push yourself to your limits. And I think the second part that is linked to this intensity is this leadership stream. Through the analyst, through coaches, group coaches, so you will be taped, you will be given feedback all year round, so you kind of understand yourself much, much better at the end, for the good or the bad of it.
Right. I mean, one of the thing about intensity is it creates really strong bonds among the classmates, right?
Yes, I think it's after 1 month, they tell me they already feel sometimes stronger bonds, or they know these people better than high school friends. So because you are left to sometimes the worst part of you, or you're just so tired that you need strong support for your classmates. And this is something, during the MBA at IMD, you'd basically have 89 friends and business partners and advisors for the rest of your life.
And the MBA curriculum at IMD has recently been revamped, and now 1/3 of the experience is experiential, right? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So you'll start, and this has always been the case with the startup project, like you mentioned before. So we select 15 startups in the area, mostly biotech or now all the cryptocurrency that are very fancy. And the MBAs will have 2.5 months to work with them and help them improve, go to market, find a market, agree with their partners on what to do next. So that's the first element. The second element are innovation weeks. So you will have a full week where from day 1 to day 7, you basically have a business problem and an idea, and at the end you need to come up with a prototype. And if possible, a little business plan, but this might be stretching it too much.
Wow, so that's really, really hands-on work. Okay, what's the most exciting thing that's happened at IMD in the last 5 years?
In the last 5 years? Good one. I think it's gonna happen now, I would say, is this digital lab, let's say, where we are faced with the most digital savvy generation, but often on a consumer side. And now we see that they're also required to understand what's the impact of that on their business and how they can move huge corporations to be a bit more agile and respond to disruption. And I think for that, they need to start learning to code. And for that, so we'll give them a week, let's say, to come up with an idea, create an app, and basically test it on the market. And I think for some, it's going to be easier, the techie one, and for some, I think they will be very proud to have been able to create an actual app at the end of the week.
Wow, so you're actually teaching coding to MBAs.
Yes, some of Python and some different elements. So it's the first year we'll do it in the program. And we work with Cisco, who have a research chair with us at IMD, so they will be helping us to set this up.
That's terrific, because I really think one of the biggest handicaps of business schools is that they haven't figured out how to teach technology well. Globalization, I think they've finally gotten that. It took many years, but technology and how systemic it is and how it's influencing everything we do in life, whether at work or play, less so. So it's great to hear that you have this digital lab and you're actually teaching MBAs a little bit of coding. Now, if you were an MBA, how hard would that be for you?
Specifically on the digital side? Yeah, I think it will be hard. I think digitally, I'm okay with the Microsoft tools, and then I can do some of LinkedIn, and I think that's about it.
Okay, so I said 3 facts about your school. All of them are intriguing facts. I want you to add a 4th. If there's anything you'd like the people to know about IMD, what would it be?
Have you heard about the polar bear jump?
No, stop. Not only do you make people code, not only do you put them under psychoanalysis for 20 hours, now you're going to put them in freezing cold water?
Exactly. And the class graduating is giving the challenge to the incoming class. And so they do it generally end of January in Switzerland, which is not the warmest place. And I would say 60% of the class jumps in the lake. This year, one didn't know how to swim. And fortunately, we had a lifeguard, and he had to go and fish him or her up. But this really builds the community and the confidence.
Indeed. Paolo, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Well, there you go. If you want to swim in icy water, if you want 20 hours of psychoanalytic advice and interviewing, and if you want a great MBA program in 1 year, IMD is the place to go. Hey, thank you.
Welcome. Thank you.